got the first reading, it looks like. River be their teacher, that together they may turn their future highs and lows into one hopeful flow. Two opposite shores feeding from a single source. Mountain be their milestone, that hand in hand they rise above. Familiarity's worn tracks into horizons of their own. Two separate footpaths dreaming of a common peak. Bird song be their mantra, that down the frail aisles of their days, their twilight hearts twitter morning, and their dreams prove branch enough.
Thank you. Everyone, my name is Luke. I've been friends with Jayce and Rachel since the beginning, since they met about an hour away from here. I'm honored that they've asked me to officiate their wedding, and I want to welcome everyone to Kentucky. Rachel, Jayce, and I, amongst others, have been up to the Red River Gorge many times, but I do not recall being here under happier circumstances. Today is not what you planned it to be back when you started planning, but if I know you two, I know that you're flexible and that you're very go with the flow, and you're very, it is what it is, as long as the important things are intact, and I think that they are. I was watching something recently, and they said, when you find somebody you love, it feels like hope. For some people, COVID might have ruined today and ruined the perfect day, but for you all it was always going to be the perfect day, no matter what it looked like. And because of these two, we renew a sense of hope that is desperately needed in the world today, and I have no doubt that a year from now we're all going to be celebrating together in the culmination of a very special year that begins right now. So we will now bless the rings. Jayce, would you like to hold them, or would somebody like to hold them? Sure. The wedding rings that Rachel and Jayce will give each other will be a reminder of their love and the vows they will make here today. They have asked to pass them around so that each of you, who is an important and loved member of their lives, can bless the rings and give your support for their marriage. So I think we'll pass them around so everyone can get their chance to bless them. When I am not attending to my ministerial duties, I'm a math teacher by trade, so I wanted to take this opportunity to reflect on chance. Probability is the amount of desired outcomes divided by the amount of possible outcomes. So for example, when you flip a coin, it has two sides, so two possible outcomes. And if you want heads, there's one possible outcome of the flip, so one desired over two possible, 50%. I'm going to get to the desired outcomes here in a minute, but I want to talk about the number of possible outcomes that ends with you two here today. How many opportunities did Jayce peruse as he debated about the future after the University of North Carolina? What chain of decisions fired through his head that compelled him to apply for a 2-year teaching program? And what algorithm that could have placed him anywhere? The biggest cities in America, the jungles of Hawaii, the mountains of Colorado, instead placed him in Appalachia. There were 6,000 Corps members that year in 2013. 30 of them placed here, half of them got jobs. So that's less than a 1% chance that you ended up where you ended up. And to further expand on that, Jayce could have been placed anywhere because it was a large region. He could have been in Martin County, which is 2 hours away. He could have been in Rockcastle County, which was 2 hours away. And despite our best intentions, we probably would not have seen you that much. Instead, you ended up in Jackson. And Jayce came over a lot on weekends and snow day brunches, and we came up here to the Gorge a lot. Chances. It is important to note that as we calculate the number of possible outcomes on the bottom, you don't add those. It's not 1 plus 2 plus 3. it increases exponentially. So 2 to the power of 2 to the power of 3 to the power of 4, and grows very, very quickly. What pathways did Rachel peruse as she graduated from the University of Ohio? What chain of decisions fired through her head that compelled her to become a volunteer in service to America? That program could have also put her anywhere, probably even more places than Jayce's could have been, but thousands of vistas spread out all over the country, willing to work at a poverty-level wage just to put some good out into the world. And of course, she ended up in Hazard, about 45 minutes down the road on Highway 15, working to get farm foods into schools. And as we calculate the number of possible outcomes, we don't stop there, because for some reason, Rachel thought it might be cool to hang out with the type of people that enjoy walking to farmers markets and share her obsession with flora. And she stuck around even though we made fun of her for ending every name with an A at the end. A friend met a friend met a friend, and she found herself somewhere in there meeting Jayce. And she continued to express interest despite the fact that he wanted to spend his second year of teaching living in a Volkswagen van. He ended up coaching soccer instead. Whatever number of private meetings or conversations or texts, we do know that Rachel saw Jayce dancing at a Christmas party. And if there's one thing that could bring this number of possible outcomes down a little bit, make it just a little bit smaller, it's the way that Jayce dances. They came together in our little Appalachian hamlet, and somewhere in the middle of all that, they fell in love. We also have to include in our calculations the small things, such as Rachel surviving Jayce's spurned suitor's attempt to knock her down the stairs, coming up to the gorge and being grumpy when it rains and rains and rains, and we're just stuck here. While we're talking about chance, anytime we come here, there's like 100% guarantee that it's going to rain, so we're going to get this done before anything happens. Humans use probability to make smart bets. $165 million were placed on bets in the Kentucky Derby last year, for example. They looked at the equation, they weighed their options, and they staked their fortunes and their futures. The favorite's probability was 2 to 9, and most bets were placed on him. Sometimes, though, the favorite doesn't always win. Rachel and Jayce spent a year in the mountains, just 1 year, before both of their terms were up. Jayce did what everybody else in their 20s did and moved to Colorado. I can only guess at the hundreds of possible outcomes they thought about, the ridiculous number of opportunities they faced at this juncture, each as likely and as probable as next. Rachel and Jayce only spent a quick breath of time in this place, and despite how frighteningly high our denominator has become, despite the odds and the dangers of betting everything on chance, Rachel moved there after him. They spent some time in Boulder, and then in Austin, and then felt called back east. There was one desired outcome that brought them here today. Amidst the thousands of decisions that we've gone over, exponentially growing, only a specific number of them happening in an exact necessary order have Rachel and Jayce standing here, ready to take the ultimate and most powerful chance that we as humans make. One desirable outcome divided by a number that cannot possibly be calculated. So either there is an art to things that have placed you two in a story written before you were born, destined to put your sentences together, or you believe that coming here today is the result of an impossible alignment of accidents. And that's okay if you think that, because it is often in the accidental places that the most beautiful things tend to happen. Love is humanity's futile attempt to decipher a language that we cannot possibly read, an attempt to balance a probability that becomes irrelevant, it is so vast. The probability of making it here, as we've discussed, was one in a numberless pool of chances. Marriage is an even bigger plunge. But you have some math on your side this time, because love tips the scales in favor of the desired outcome. It ignores the larger possibilities to focus on your possibilities and the potential of what you're going to be able to do with it. Your love will grow and mature, endure trials, tribulations, joys and sorrows, tests and small, blissful moments of quiet. And somewhere in all of those happenings, you will get to the point where you understand, or rather think you understand, the poetry in which the universe is written. You'll never solve the equation, but you will get close. It will be almost legible, and you're going to keep trying because he deserves it and because she is worth it. So we're not going to close by saying beat the odds, because I don't think love works that way. But let us here, in this beautiful place, take a moment to appreciate the number of possible outcomes, but bask in the one desired outcome that really matters. We will now exchange wedding vows. Rachel, I believe you are going to start.
Oh man. Okay. Jayce. I'll try to enunciate. I have no doubt in my mind that you're the man that's meant to be my husband. It's almost been 6 beautiful years since we first ran around this gorge together, and you've added so much more peace, joy, and adventure to my life than I could have ever expected or hoped for. You've shown me love through your actions as well as your words, whether I'm having the best day ever, working through a stressful time, or even just getting hungry, because let's be honest, that's the worst version of myself. We've learned so much about ourselves and each other, and I can't wait to keep learning and growing with you. I promise to choose you every single day. I promise to seek out the fun in life with you, including celebrating every single time you pop all 8 toes. I promise to dance with you through the happy times and pull you closer through the rough times. You're my favorite person forever, and I'm so excited to be your wife.
Jayce?
You. Rachel, thank you for not running for the hills when I told you I loved you a week after meeting you. Having you as a best friend for the last 5.5 years has been amazing. Hiking Crested Butte, aka Crusty Booty, in peak wildflower season. Climbing Big Bad Wolf, our first multi-pitch, in Red Rock, Nevada. Being nursed back to life by you, visiting us at Sunset Beach, and on a couple occasions since then. Moving to Austin in North Carolina to pursue education and the life we want. I love you even more after 300 weeks, and I can't wait to see what the next 300 and beyond hold. During that time, I vow to provide for you, cooking scrambled eggs on toast for brekkie until we are old enough that we need to cut back on cholesterol. Excite you with hiking, biking, climbing, frightening mountain driving, dancing, camping, and whatever else we next get into. Support you by being your experimental taste tester for eggless, flourless, sugarless, cookieless cookies, and brownieless brownies. Care for you by giving you a taxi ride to bed when you fall asleep on the couch up until my knees give out. And be there for you. Listen, sit with you, offer advice, buzz off to another room, hold you while you cry, or scream out the car window with you. I'm excited to continue loving you as my wife and vow to be the best husband I know.
A week. Mrs. Walker and Mrs. Ackerman will now share a reading with us.
If I can find it. Okay. These are the hands of your best friend, young and strong and full of love for you, that are holding yours on your wedding day and promise to love each other today, tomorrow, and forever.
And these are the hands that will work alongside yours as together you build your future.
These are the hands that will passionately love you and cherish you through the years, and with the slightest touch will comfort you like no other.
These are the hands that won't hold you when fear or grief fill your eyes.
These are the hands that will countless times wipe the tears from your eyes, tears of sorrow and tears of joy.
These are the hands that will tenderly hold your children.
These are the hands that will help you to hold your family as one.
These are the hands that will give you strength when you need it.
And lastly, these are the hands that even when wrinkled and aged, will still be reaching for yours, still giving you the same unspoken tenderness with just a touch. The end.
Not quite. A few more important things to get out of the way. Are you ready?
Yes.
Do you, Rachel, take Jayce to be your husband, to be true to him in good times and in bad, in sickness and in health, to love and honor him all the days of your life?
I do.
Do you, Jayce, take Rachel to be your wife, to be true to her in good times and in bad, in sickness and in health, to love and honor her all the days of your life?
I most definitely do.
Then I now pronounce you man and wife. You may smooch.
Do you have the rings?
Yes.
With this ring.
That wasn't part of the agenda.
I know, we
So
looked at
improvise it. Go.
Yeah.
I got this ring for you, Rachel. It's a symbol of my love.
Awesome.
Please wear it always, whenever you want.
I got this ring for you, Jayce.
I recognize it.
You picked it out as a symbol of my love. I'm so excited to be your wife. You know, we still get to kiss again.
Now, the champagne made it, correct?
Yes. we
Okay,
can
I
pop
believe
a
it is time for a toast.
I ran back.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
All right, you can go down there, but just be very careful because we're on a steep rock.
Yeah, he's got something. I knew it. I think we should put
Do you want me to walk her back to the car? What are you doing?
Eloise, are you collecting rocks?
Here, I can help.
She dropped her flag.
Oh. Do you want? Can I get you something? You just have to stay down there. I think, are you trying to finish it?
Is it good?
Jason, maybe you trying to take
Eloise, come take a picture with us.
You did such a good job.
Oh.
She was trying to
Pass it around.
Can you come sit on my lap?
Are these the right glasses?
Can we fix her headband?
I think we're using these ones now.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do these ones. It's a short measure to start with. Then
You top it off.
yeah.
Right here.
She's our child now.
Winning.
Good job.
Nice job.
Good job on the flower girl duties, Eloise. That was awesome. You can start passing the other way too.
That's going to be the other way.
Thank you very much.
I don't think she
That's very nice. Thank you so much. That was
Wonderful. Genuine and sincere pleasure.
That was really
Yeah, well said.
Yeah, that was excellent. I think you ought to do that for a
Yeah,
profession.
way to go, Luke.
Honestly.
Lucamus Maximus. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, you
Father-in-law.
rocked it.
You can hold it so you can do a cheers.
Congrats. Thank you, brother.
Anybody else?
probably me.
Yes, and me. Sorry, if there's any left, I will take.
Let's run this ball.
You all right?
There's a lot left.
Do you want to
But there will be seconds.
No, I think you all have one. It's all yours.
Oh, you're sweating? We haven't got any water.
No, thank you.
So I guess this one's on me.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Just hold it, please.
Sam, let it go.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Jayce.
Back to the car.
So yeah, Jayce. First time we heard Jayce's name, I remember that his last name was Lovejoy, and I kicked that around with Rachel's name a little bit. I thought, Rachel Lovejoy. That doesn't sound right. For the longest time, I thought you guys' last name was Lovejoy, and I thought, who?
It was a couple years, I think, honestly.
So I was pretty excited to hear your last name was Walker. Good, strong American name. So the first time we met Jayce, he of course rolls up in his Volkswagen sleeper bus, whatever you call that thing.
We still thought he was Lovejoy then.
Still
A year
thought-
later.
That made even more
Still
sense.
thought he was Lovejoy. And he came up, Beth and I believe were on the porch, and Jayce was traveling between
Here and
heading to
there.
Chicago, coming from Chicago, something like that. Rachel kind of gave us a heads up that he was coming, but yeah, it was pretty gutsy. Jayce come up and we talked and we spent several hours showing him around Milan. Yeah, it was a cool thing. And, anyway, appreciate that. 'Cause that was a gutsy move to do. And I knew kind of right then that something special about this guy, just to have the guts to step on our porch and talk to us without Rachel being in the room. So we'd like to welcome Jayce, Jeff, Sam, family, to our family. Not me! Anyway, awesome group, and Jayce is an example of great parenting. See that?
And Rachel is too.
Rachel. Just, it's just amazing where time has gone. You know, seems like yesterday carrying Rachel out of Disneyland. Tired and sleepy. And
Trying to watch a fireworks, so we had to beat
I'm-
traffic.
trying to beat traffic, heading for the tram, and Rachel's dead tired and half sleepy, but she could see the fireworks in the background. And just seems like yesterday, but we are so proud, your mother and I, brothers, so proud of the young lady you've become. Just happy of the choices you made. So, to a long, long life of happiness and exciting adventures, to Jayce and Rachel.
Jayce and Rachel.
Rachel.
No, I thought they would be at the house, but unfortunately.
Yeah, Dad don't.
She's fine.
I'm not wiping them down.
Dad don't like. You need the nose thing just like your mother.
Yeah,
No, I didn't say to Jayce and Rachel Walker. That's what I wanted to say.
Ah.
So I
Yeah,
gotta
still
wrap
some
my,
deliberation
wrap
on
my
that.
fingers around that.
Yeah. Walkerman.
Walkerman.
No, just plain old Walker.
So when did you drop the bio Lovejoy alias?
Oh yeah. As soon as I quit teaching.
Before or after the Selva?
After.
I can't remember when I found out that it was kind of an alias to
Oh, you
keep
kept-
people from knowing.
You
that
asked me. You're like,
yeah.
so is his last name really Lovejoy? And then like maybe a year.